A recent cruise vacation turned into a financial nightmare for a Minnesota man, Mike Cameron, after he was billed a staggering $47,638 for flu treatment aboard the Norwegian Escape. What was supposed to be a free Caribbean cruise won through a promotion quickly became one of the most expensive experiences of his life, when the onboard medical team charged 2 of his credit cards to cover emergency medical care. Although Cameron had travel insurance, complications in coverage have left him with a $21,000 balance, as his primary health insurance declined to cover the treatment because it was provided outside of North America. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the hidden financial risks of cruising, particularly when it comes to medical emergencies. The high cost of medical care at sea. Cruise ship infirmaries operate similarly to private healthcare clinics, and their pricing reflects the lack of alternatives available at sea. Unlike land-based hospitals that must adhere to government-imposed pricing regulations, cruise ship medical centers operate under international maritime law. This often means higher costs due to limited resources, specialized equipment, and the need for onboard doctors to be available around the clock. Cruise lines typically contract third-party medical providers to staff their ships, and these providers are responsible for setting prices for services. Norwegian Cruise Line defended its pricing by stating that their medical fees are competitive with other cruise lines, meaning passengers can expect similar high charges across most major cruise companies. However, reports from other cruisers indicate that costs can vary significantly depending on the severity of treatment and the length of the cruise. According to industry sources, a basic medical consultation on board can range from $150 to $250. Treating a common illness like the flu, which may involve IV fluids, medication, and observation, can cost anywhere between $3,000 and $7,000. More serious conditions requiring emergency care, overnight monitoring, or specialized tests can easily reach $25,000 or more. Evacuations via air ambulance can cost anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000, depending on the location and distance from the nearest hospital. Why did the bill get so high? The breakdown of Cameron's $47,638 bill has not been fully disclosed, but several factors likely contributed to the massive cost. Medical consultation fees on board can be several $100s per visit. If blood tests, X-rays, or other lab work were required, each test could add thousands to the bill. Onboard medical centers stock a limited supply of medication, and prices are often marked up significantly compared to retail pharmacies on land. Flu-related dehydration often requires IV fluids, which are costly on cruise ships. If Cameron needed prolonged monitoring due to the severity of his flu symptoms, costs could escalate quickly. Some cruisers have reported being charged $1,000 per night for simple overnight observation, while others have faced additional fees for supplies, oxygen, and specialized medical procedures. Does travel insurance actually cover this? Cameron and his girlfriend had travel insurance, but issues with coverage have delayed payment, leaving him with a $21,000 outstanding balance. This is a common problem among travelers who assume their insurance will cover all expenses, only to find that exclusions and conditions apply. Many standard health insurance policies, particularly those in the United States, Canada, and Australia, do not cover medical treatment received outside their home country. In Cameron's case, his primary health insurance refused to pay because the treatment was administered in international waters rather than North America. This situation is not uncommon and highlights the importance of reading the fine print of travel insurance policies, how to avoid a similar financial disaster. While Cameron's story is unfortunate, it serves as a wake-up call for cruisers to be proactive about medical costs at sea. Always purchase comprehensive travel insurance that includes emergency medical treatment, medical evacuation, and pre-existing condition coverage. If your primary health insurance does not cover out-of-country treatment, travel insurance becomes even more critical. Cruise lines rarely provide upfront medical pricing, but researching past passenger experiences on forums like Cruise Critic or Reddit's iCruise can provide insight into expected costs. Bring a comprehensive first aid kit with flu medicine, pain relievers, motion sickness tablets, and electrolyte tablets to avoid unnecessary doctor visits. For non-emergency issues, seeking medical care at port stops can be far cheaper than onboard medical centers. Before your cruise, research hospitals and clinics at each port and carry a list of emergency contacts for each destination. Some cruise lines offer telemedicine consultations, which can be significantly cheaper than an in-person doctor visit. If your symptoms are mild, using these services could save you hundreds or thousands of dollars. The bigger issue. Are cruise lines overcharging for medical care? This incident has reignited debate about whether cruise lines are overcharging for medical services. Unlike traditional hospitals, onboard medical centers lack government oversight in pricing and operate in a captive market, meaning passengers have little choice but to pay whatever is charged. Cruise lines argue that high costs are justified due to the expense of maintaining fully staffed medical centers at sea, the need for specialized equipment and emergency care readiness, and the logistics of providing 24/7 medical assistance. However, critics argue that these prices take advantage of passengers who have no other options while at sea. Calls for greater pricing transparency and standardized medical fees across cruise lines are growing as more passengers share their stories of unexpected bills. Mike Cameron's $47,638 flu treatment bill is a cautionary tale for every cruiser. While nobody plans to get sick on vacation, medical emergencies can happen to anyone. The key takeaway: always prepare for the worst-case scenario. Invest in comprehensive travel insurance, pack essential medications, and familiarize yourself with your health coverage before sailing. By taking these steps, you can avoid an unexpected financial disaster and focus on enjoying your cruise without the looming fear of an astronomical medical bill.